Hi, this is Patrick Brady, and I'm excited to share some information with you guys about global flows today. All right, today is October 27th, 2023, and we're going to start with inflation. Inflation eats away at wealth. I believe everyone around the United States and around the world understands that inflation has really hit pocketbooks of, especially middle class and lower class, income people. So this article really just hits that home. Um, Inflation eats away at wealth. The real value of fortunes has been eroding during the past 2 years at its fastest rate in more than 4 decades. So, this article really is a little bit more about high net worth individuals. But gosh, I don't know about you guys, but buying an apple or buying milk, I've got a 2 year old buying diapers. It is truly much more expensive than it used to be. So, over this year, especially, inflation is so bad. You remember our leaders told us that inflation was temporary. What was the word? Inflation was, I can't remember. It'll come back to me. Okay, so the main points of this article, three key points from the article: rapid wealth erosion. So you can see from this graph here, between real and nominal, net high net worth individuals. You can see on a nominal basis there are so many more than on a real basis. So, adjusting for inflation, real high net worth individuals much lower than nominal. Inflation has increased the number of millionaires by 50% in many countries. That is crazy. Look at the U.S. That is truly insane. Real versus nominal returns. Data from the last 2 decades reveals that rising prices eroded asset values even during low inflation periods. Only 34 million out of 59 million global millionaires retain their status in real terms. That's crazy. There are challenges for inflation. Current political disruption, such as Russia's action in Ukraine, Middle East, Taiwan. The world is, let's say, stably challenged. Right now, there's a lot of unknowns. Inflation hurts. Gas prices hurt. I know in California, gas prices are like over $6 a gallon. Here in Texas, though, they're under $3 a gallon, so we like that. Yep, I'm looking over here next door in my truck. There's a gallon for $2.89. So we hope that inflation will die down, but I mean, even right now they say inflation is being curbed at like 2, 3, 4%, but that's on top of already 8 or 9% that's already built into the cake. So inflation continues to wreak havoc, and this process of protectionism, deglobalization, everything together makes it a little bit scary. All right. This article is about Apple supplier Foxconn and the founder Terry Goat. When I lived in Shenzhen, there was a huge Foxconn factory. The major Apple. This article says it was like Jack Ma. Jack Ma, you guys know, was the founder of Alibaba and lots of other like fintech companies and everything as derivatives of Alibaba. I used to work for Global Sources, which is kind of the original Alibaba when Alibaba went online with Chinese suppliers, so they could find buyers across the world. Global Sources did it first. So I worked for that company, and then we were doing trade shows in Hong Kong, which I don't think Amazon, I don't think Alibaba's gotten into trade shows, but like the Canton Fair, I'm sure their marketing is everywhere. So Chinese suppliers try to get online and find buyers. So what are the key points here? Political ambitions trigger probe. Okay. So I think the Chinese proverb, I believe, is the nail that sticks up out of the ground will be hammered down. So you don't want to be too excellent in today's political environment in China for sure. After Foxconn's founder Terry Gou announced his intentions to run for president in Taiwan and asserted his company's independence from Beijing influence, China initiated a large-scale investigation of Foxconn. Impact on stock and global investments. Following the announcement of China's investigation, stock values for Foxconn and its subsidiaries significantly dropped, which could affect, obviously, China-Taiwan relationships or relations. Changing dynamics with Taiwan. Historically, China depended on Taiwanese companies like Foxconn for technology, capital, and expertise. However, with China's growing self-reliance and preferential treatment previously given to Taiwanese companies has diminished. Gou's presidential bid, which challenges China's territorial views on Taiwan, further complicates the relationship. I was in Shenzhen, and I think, Taiwan is across from Xiamen and then down south. So when I lived in Shenzhen, outside of Shenzhen, Guangzhou, and the area between them escapes me right now. Dongguan was just tons and tons of Taiwanese companies. And I was in the furniture industry. Most of the furniture industry had Taiwanese ownership or management. They were very strict. I think you remember Foxconn, the buildings had nets to catch the people that were jumping off out of the windows because they were, management was so hard on employees, or employees couldn't take it. A lot of them, Shenzhen and Dongguan were these places where, people from all over the country came to live, and they even actually had dormitories on the factory floors, which is different than other parts of China. So many people left their families behind and to go and work, and then obviously send a lot of money back. But this is interesting, and I did not know that Terry Gou was running for president of Taiwan. So that is super interesting. Thank you, Catherine Hilly in Taipei, for that article. Okay, let's move to Gavin Newsom in China. This is fascinating. Seems like Joe Biden is not really that welcome in China. But here comes Gavin Newsom, the governor of California. And he has aspirations, we believe, to either throw Biden to the curb or be I wouldn't call it heir apparent, but the Democratic candidate after Biden. So what are the main points? What are the main points? Let's find them. Okay, here we go. Xi and Newsom met, and that's interesting. They say they're collaborating on climate change. The first U.S. governors meeting with Xi since 2017. California's role in climate cooperation. History of cooperation with China on climate initiatives. Newsom toured green energy facility showing China's advancements in clean energy. Competitive climate landscape. Despite the cooperative climate dialogue, the U.S. and China are in intense competition in the green technology sector. China currently dominates the green tech supply chain, leveraging its position as the U.S. and its allies strive to develop their domestic renewable energy industries. Don't know if you knew this or not, but I was, I think in like 2007, working for Motorskill. Hi, Ryan Irwin. I was sourcing solar panels and inverters. And believe it or not, back then, it was amazing. I think it wasn't 2007. It was more like 2012. I'll have to go back and look. But all the solar industry was denominated in euros at the time. And euros were very strong against the dollar. So like I was sourcing solar panels at €7 per watt, which is crazy because a couple years later, I don't know what the price is now, but a couple years later, they became like 70 cents a watt. So €7 a watt, I think was like $10 a watt at that time. And then by a factor of like 1/100th, the price came down, and that's when the anti-dumping policies came into effect. I'll have to go back and look at what year that was, but it was crazy. And things were so crazy. Europe was just importing so much. And it was really probably the closest thing that I can remember where the euro became kind of the reserve currency, or I should say trading currency for that particular industry. And I'm sure America came in and shut that down quickly, but it got so crazy that I heard stories where Chinese factories were sending the frames in glass without the actual cells inside because people were just buying like crazy. And when there's a frenzy like that, and Europe was trying to go green, so much corruption follows suit. So, but I think Europe is in a position where they have a lot of infrastructure now for green, and that's good. So these are the 3 articles I wanted to share with you today. I hope that you're enjoying this. I put global flows together so that I could share with you some of the things that are going on around the world. I hope you're enjoying it. And we'll continue next week. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you.